All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, that's right, you see it on the screen here, we're going to be revisiting Shanks with the new starter deck support. At least a card or two from the new starter deck, but we'll talk about that more as we get into the video. So let's go ahead and get right into this. It's going to be a pretty standard layout video, for the channel, where we go over the deck list first, then we hop over to the sim. We got 5 games to go over on the sim, and then after that, we're going to be recapping the deck list, and I'll tell you guys what I think about it moving forward. All right, so let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden, and their summer kickoff sale is live. They're offering 10 to 40% off site-wide across the entire store. For a limited time, get a free playmat tube with every Sun God playmat purchase while supplies last. Also, don't forget to use my code, the VV Theory, at the checkout for an extra 10% off. Alright, what's up guys? I got a quick announcement before we launch into today's video. July 1st, on the VV Theory Discord, we are going to be hosting a Rainbow Luffy tournament. Okay, all the details are on the Discord. Be sure to hop on and check it out for yourself if you're interested. Once you hop into the Discord, link is in the channel description. You will land right here in the landing zone, and that's where we say hey to everybody who comes in. We try to wave at everyone who comes in, but notice all the way down the list down here where it says tournaments, you'll be able to bring down this drop down here and go to the frequently asked questions, and here it is. This is the FAQ for it, kind of explaining more about it. And if you have any extra questions, of course, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, but just some quick details on it. It will be July 1st, okay? And its registration is going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? And it will end by 8:45, of the same day. You register the same day and you play that same day, okay? And it's going to be a Rainbow Luffy tournament. So what does that mean? It's not like a sealed tournament or a limited tournament. Excuse me, in fact, it's the total opposite, right? You're going to be building a deck using any cards in the game up to OP 11. Notice it says right here, every set up to OP 11 is legal. OP 12 will not be legal in the tournament. But you're going to play up to OP, all the way up to OP 11. It will be on the sim, okay? And you're going to have access to all the cards in the game. And imagine what that means. Rainbow Luffy, right, guys? Rainbow Luffy, that means you can run any card in the deck. It is a 6-color leader, and it has all names and types. So imagine a deck that has Cavendish, that also has access to 10 cost Lin, that might have access to fill in the blank of whatever cards would normally just be restricted to a single type or color. Okay, so really cool stuff there. If you're interested and you want more details on that, be sure to stop by the Discord and ask away in there. Really looking forward to it. One more thing I want to say about it is notice the timing. It's on July 1st, which is a Tuesday, and the signups start at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? I stream at 9 p.m. Eastern every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we will be streaming this tournament, okay? So again, if anyone's interested in that, be sure to stop by the Discord and ask about it and hop down to the FAQ and kind of get some ideas on what it's all about. All right, guys, let's go ahead and break down the deck list for today's video, starting off with the leader. Shanks is a 5,000 power, 5 life, mono red leader with the types 4 Emperor and Red Hair Pirates. The effect is once per turn. You may activate this effect when your opponent attacks. Give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 1,000 power for the turn. Now, we're going to run through the entire deck list real quick, and I have to always say this for the newer players out there. I'm going to mouse over each card individually, so if you don't know what a card does, be sure to pause and read it, okay? Because I'm not going to be explaining some of these older cards in the game. Okay, so we're running 4 Otama, 4 Hongo, 4 Lucky Roo, 4 Tony Chopper, 4 Yasop, 4 Ben Beckman, 2 of the 7-cost Newgate, 2 Monkey D. Dragons, 4 Silver's Rayleigh, 2 of the 9-cost Newgate, 4 of the new 9-cost Shanks, 2 of the OP09 Rush Shanks, the OP09 10-cost Rush Shanks, 4 of the 0-cost 3K Bad Manners Kit Course, 2 Divine Departures, and 4 Highest Point Reached, which is a new searcher event from EB02. All right, so what are we trying to do with this list here? What's the idea? This is actually meant to be a list that just curves out, okay? If you did not pick that up by looking at it here, you want to go, we want to go second every single time. I'll explain going first in just a second here. We're trying to go second every single time. We want to go turn 1, 2 Dawn, play out our searcher here to fix out our curve, right? Whatever card we might not have on curve, we'll try to search up something to fix that, you know, along the way. Turn 2, going into our 4 Dawn turn, we have Lucky Roo or Tony Chopper. I know this is a 2K counter, but guys, this card in Shanks is really good because it's basically a 7,000 power blocker. So really, really good card in Shanks to play out on turn 2 on curve, right? Turn 3 on our 6 Dawn turn, we can play out Yasopp. And then on our 8 Dawn turn, turn 4, we can play out Beckman, Newgate, Dragon, or Rayleigh. We have a lot of options on turn 4. And then, of course, on turn 5, we have the 9 and 10 cost characters. That is what we're trying to do with this deck. In fact, I would say the perfect curve that you're trying to achieve every single game is probably turn 1, highest point reached, into turn 2, Lucky Roo. Lucky Roo or Chopper, like I said, Lucky Roo helps eat up the board a little bit because on KO you can KO one of their characters that costs that has 6,000 power or less. So either one is literally fine on turn 2. And then turn 3, Yasopp, of course. Turn 4, I would say probably Rayleigh or even Newgate. Either one's fine. And then turn 5, straight into the 10 cost Shanks. You just want to establish this early on because it's so hard to deal with, and it does so much to the board state. It makes your opponent's life so much harder. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. Now, excuse me, now going first is not much worse, but it is a little bit slower, that's for sure. Because turn 1, we don't really have a play going first on 1 Dawn. Turn 2, we can develop Hongo or do some card, fix our hand with the event searcher. Turn 3, we start to get a little more options. We can play out any of these blockers or the Yasopp. Turn 4 on 7 Dawn, we can play out Beckman or Newgate. And then turn 5 on 9 Dawn, we can play pretty much anything in the deck at that point, with one exception being the 10 cost Shanks. So going first or second's not bad, but I think we want to go second every time, so that way we can develop that perfect even curve of 2 cost event into 4 cost blocker, into 5 cost Yasopp, into 8 cost Rayleigh or 7 cost Newgate, and then 10 cost Shanks. That's kind of what we're trying to go for every single time. Now, this is the only new card we're really looking at in the entire deck, other than EV02's, the new Searcher event. Everything else is kind of already, shown up in Shanks in the past. But with the new ST23 cards, this is the only card for me that made the cut into Shanks. Now, there are other ways you can play Shanks, of course. You can play more aggressive. You can play more, Red Hair Pirates based or whatever, right? There's many different ways you can build Shanks. This is meant to just be more of a natural curve that buffs our leader's power in the end game. I want to be a 7,000 power leader in the end game pretty much every single turn. Now, let me read this card. I didn't even read the card yet. So this card right here, this is the new one of the new ST23 SRs. It is a 9 cost, 10,000 power character, but listen to this, guys. If your opponent has a character with 8,000 base power or more, give this card in your hand -3 cost. So this ends up being a 6 cost, 10k character later in the game, and listen to what else it does. It has a very powerful on-play effect. Excuse me. On play, if your leader has the Red Hair Pirates type or is Uda, your leader gains plus 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next end phase. So this is just like Newgate's effect. It's basically like I'm running 6 Edward Newgates in this deck, except these can be a 6 cost character as opposed to a 9 cost character. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of this new Shanks. I think this is easily the best new SR for Shanks that came out of the new starter deck. I guess I'll briefly talk about these other cards. I have already mentioned them before, but we'll go over them real quickly. This 1 cost Luffy, it's just, activate main, rest one of your Dawn cards and this character to give up to one of your opponent's characters -1,000 power for the turn. It has power reduction built into it, which is a major theme within Red. I understand what they're trying to do here, but I don't think this is really something we're trying to do in Shanks. Yasopp is just like the Dawn Reassignment Nami. We've already seen that card. It's, activate main, give up to 1 rested Dawn to one of your leader or characters. I guess it's just a solid utility card, but again, it's not really what we're trying to achieve with Shanks. It's not something we really want to do, but hey, if you do want to, add a 1-drop to the list you're looking at right now, I would actually probably take Yasopp over the Luffy. I would rather have the ability to give a Dawn right now, to a character as opposed to resting a Dawn to mess up our curve to give a character -1,000 power. But this card does have its arguments as well later in the game, allowing you to hit bigger targets with Beckman and Newgate. Then we have Ben Beckman, the 4 cost. This is a very restricted card for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It's a 4-cost 5K with 1K counter, which is a decent stat line. That's really not that bad at all. But listen to the on-play effect. You may trash one card from your hand. Okay, so we're trashing a card from our hand. And then if our leader is Red Hair Pirates type, so it's restricted to Red Hair Pirates leaders only, then we can only KO characters with a base power of 4,000 or less. Excuse me. So there's like 3 major restrictions on this card. I think they went a little overboard with that. I think they made this card a little too weak. Again, you have to trash a card, your leader has to be Red Hair Pirates, and then you can only KO characters with a base power of 4,000 or less. So, I'm not a huge fan of how they did this card. And then, last but not least here, we already went over Shanks, so last but not least here, we do have Uda. I'm just going to give a little miniature rant real quick on this card. It's a 6-cost, 4,000 power, 2K counter character with incredible art. The art looks so good on this card. But notice the effect here. If you have a character with 10,000 power or more, give this card... excuse me, give this card in your hand -4 cost, and it's a blocker. So the idea, obviously, is to be comboed with the new Shanks card. Let's say your opponent has an 8,000 power character on the board. Okay, if we're on a 10 Dawn turn, we can play this card out for 6. We still have 4 Dawn left to work with for the turn. Well, now we have a 10,000 power character on the board, so we can play this out for 2. And now we still have 2 Dawn left to work with for the turn, maybe to sit on defensive events or something like that with, or, you know, allocate our Dawn appropriately wherever else. But here's my problem. Like, in the current state of the game right now, we already have a 6-cost, 2,000 power blocker that is a 6,000 power card in Sanji, right? And it has, you know, if your opponent, or excuse me, if you have... What is it? If you have 2 or more less Dawn than your opponent, it's just a 3 Dawn character, right? It only costs 3. So let me say it like this. This is a 2-cost 4K 2K counter blocker, whereas Sanji is a 3-cost 6K 2K counter blocker. And for people who might be thinking like, yeah, well, that's one card that's like that. Not anymore, right? We have seen some new spoilers, spoiler warning, but in PRB 02, there's going to be a new card that comes out. It's a Black Sabo. It is a 6-cost, excuse me, guys. It is a 6-cost, 6,000 power 2K counter blocker that says if you have 15 or more cards in your trash, he has -3 cost in hand. So I do think this card was slightly understated, undertuned. So I wish this was, again, I actually wish this was just a 6-cost 6K with a 2K counter blocker, and it says exactly what it says. If you have a character with 10,000 power or more, and then I wish it said give this character -3 in hand, right? I wish they had made it like that. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comments section below. But as far as this new Shanks goes, I am a huge fan of this card. I think it's really good. I think it was an MVP in some of the games you're going to see in today's video, because there's a turn where we can go on 10 Dawn. If our opponent has an 8,000 power character on the board, we can go, okay, play out Shanks and then develop a Lucky Roo or a Tony Chopper. So we just went up to 7,000 power for the turn, and we developed a blocker, and now we have a 10K on the board. And then we're sitting on these 0-cost 3Ks, because I do plan on fully tapping out most of the time to play out this 10-cost Shanks or to play out this Shanks plus a blocker. That's why we're running 4 of the 0-cost 3Ks. And we do have a decent amount of bricks in the deck. We are running, let me see, 2. These events are bricks as well, right? So we have 2 plus 4 is 6, 8, 10, 12, 20. We have 20 bricks in the deck, so I am running 4 of the Bad Manners Kit course. But we do want to fully tap out with this deck, I think, at some points, just to get as much advantage as possible by playing out this Shanks and then developing a blocker, or even just smashing in with more power for the turn with our remaining Dawn, or leaving 1 Dawn active for events. Okay? Now, that's the deck list, guys. Let's go ahead and head over to the sim and check it out. Let's see it in action. All right, first game up we have against Red, Blue, Marco. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. All right, so again, you want to go second as much as is possible. Whenever you can choose, you want to go second. Okay, so we get to go second here. They go turn 1 Building Snake into turn 2 Nico Robin. We're going to swing for 5 here. We had no turn 1 play, but we're going to play out a a Lucky Roo here, and we're just going to deal with that Nico Robin. We don't want them to have that on the board with the Building Snake as well. We don't want them to have that combo. There was also an idea to get rid of the Building Snake here, actually, but I think the safe play was getting rid of Nico Robin, because they have power reduction built into their leader anyway. They're going to follow up with a Duval and pass the turn, and then we're going to play out a Yasop, and it looks like we're going to swing for 6. We left 1 Dawn active here. We were trying to just get a 2K counter out of hand. We could have swung for 7, but they had a blocker anyway, so we didn't want to, you know, let's just leave the Dawn active and use Divine Departure if we need to. They're going to get rid of my Yasop with the leader effect plus Edward Newgate. Seems good. And now is a turn where we can just develop this this Silver's Rayleigh on curve, minus 3,000 to the Newgate. We're going to swing 5 into it. He has to give me a card to protect it. And now we have an 8,000 power body on the board. He's going to 2K counter out of that to save it. And now they're going to attach it on to their leader. They're going to give minus 2,000 power to my Silver's Rayleigh. They're going to play out a Silver's Rayleigh of their own to get rid of mine. Seems good. Okay, this is not looking good, right, guys? This is actually not looking good here. Okay, they're going to swing for 5, and they very wisely do not attack in with that Edward Newgate, because I would have punished them right here, guys. We're going to swing in for 12. They're down to 1 life. They are in trouble, guys. They're in trouble now. We're starting to turn this on them. They're going to swing for 7. We'll take this first hit. They're going to swing for 7 more. We'll take that one. I'm basically saying, like, I'm going to protect the Shanks on the board at all cost. I'm not going to let them just get rid of it for free. They're going to play out the Emporio Ivankov, comboing it with the Duval with the leader effect to cheat that out. They combo, and then they play out a Nami blocker. They have... I think they should have left 1 Dawn active there, but that's okay. We're going to 2K counter out of this with the leader effect and go from here. So their board is much wider than mine, but we are already much stronger on the board, believe it or not, with that Shanks. They have to get rid of that Shanks. It is going to be able to do too much. We're going to go 7 into 5. This will probably force the Duval blocker. I don't know why they wouldn't use the blocker here. Okay, they're going to 2K, 1K. That's fine with me. Now they use the Duval blocker. I'm going to play out this Shanks here. We were able to get... Okay, pause. We could have actually played out the Shanks first and swung for 9K, but then we went and got the 2K, 1K out of their hand. So I think that was a little bit better for us to just knock their hand size down a little bit and then to go big afterwards. But you definitely can just swing for bigger numbers if you want to and just go about things that way. Make them use up more blockers on the board or more cards from hand or take life. It's up to you. But I'm going to be honest, this was like my first game ever with this version of the list here, and I was playing out the Shanks, and afterwards I was thinking, wait a minute. I actually could have swung, yeah, I could have played this out first to swing for bigger, so I do think we should have swung for bigger there. We're going to leave 2 Dawn as active, and we have a Divine Departure in hand. Now remember, we're a 7,000 power leader right now. They are, their entire board has minus 1,000 power, and of course we have our leader effect, a Divine Departure, a 0 cost 3K, a 2K, and 2 1Ks. So we're in a very good spot right now, and we have 2 life left. They're going to play out the ace here, going minus 3,000 to my Shanks. They're going to attack in with Ivankov just to draw a card. They're going to swing for 7, and then they swing for 7 more. Okay, I think they swung for 7 3 times this turn, guys. Hang on. Yeah, they swing in with the Edward Newgate. And we countered out of pretty much everything and only took 1 hit, guys. Hang on, we have to recap this entire turn. We have to recap the whole turn here. Okay, we passed the turn back right here. Wait, I went too far back. Here we go. So this is their turn. This is the beginning of their turn here. They're going to play out the 7 cost ace, and watch what happens here. Okay, just waiting on our opponent. I think they probably could have made a play to get rid of my Shanks here. Like, I think they could have actually played out the ace to give minus 2,000 to Shanks and then minus 3,000 more to Shanks and go from there. Okay, I see. They got rid of my 9 cost. I was going to say, wait a minute. I don't remember them swinging with the Edward Newgate. They didn't. They KO'd my 9 cost. They're going to go... Okay, they attack him with the Ivankov just to draw a card. That's fine. We're going to minus 1,000 to the Rayleigh to get out of that attack for free with our leader effect. We're going to give him a 1K, and then he's going to swing for 7. And I think we're going to take this one. It's a little bit greedy, but look at that. It paid off. Sometimes the greed pays off, guys. Sometimes the greed. You know, you got to test your limits, guys, especially on the sim when you're testing out new decks. You really should try to test your limits to see what you can get away with here. Okay, so we have another 9 cost Shanks now. Okay, we have another 6 Dawn play. We're going up to 7,000 power again this turn. So right here, I think I am actually... Looks like I might even consider Dragon here. I don't think Dragon's the right play. I'm not going to lie. Yes, that's the right play. We're going to swing for 9 this time. He's probably going to take this one and then block out of the 12K. Because next turn, he has to go for lethal. Well, guys, I'm a 7,000 power leader. I have 1 life. I have Divine Departure. And their entire board is minus 1,000. All their characters are minus 1,000. So he really only has 4 attacks, right? Realistically, he only has 4 attacks. We can ignore 1 by taking a life. We have a Divine Departure for one of the others. We have the 0 cost 3K for 1. And we just have to get out of 1. Or 1 more. So he's going to go in for 9 here. I was very tempted to take this. I was very tempted to take this and have him just go all in. And we do. We decided to take it, and we got a 2K counter. I was going to say, I think as long as we got a 1K counter, we were going to be fine here. As long as we got a 1K counter, there was nothing he could do to win this game. Okay, so right here he just says, all right, you either got it or you don't. He's going to swing for 14. I'm going to go -1 with the leader. We're going to go +3 to go to 10, and then 2K, 1K to get out of that, or 2K, 2K to get out of it from there. Good game to my opponent. They concede at that point. They couldn't even swing with anything else, right? They have a 6K and a 6K on the board. We're a 7,000 power leader. Guys, that new Shanks is really not that bad. Okay, good game to my opponent. Let's move on to the next one. That was against Red Blue Marco. Now we got a game versus Purple Black Luffy. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Now we're talking, guys. Now we have an actual curve here. And we're going second. Turn 1, fix our hand with the Searcher event. They play out a Zoro. They do the Dawn Ramp trick. They're going to swing for 7. We're just going to take this. We get a Dragon. Very nice. Now we're going to go swing 5. Play out Lucky Roo. Your turn. Okay, and then we can go straight into Yasop, into Beckman, Dragon, or Goldie Roger. We have a lot of options. This is kind of the perfect curve we're seeing right here for the deck for the way that I intended it. Okay, that changes things, though. That changes things. Watch this, guys, okay? That Monkey D. Luffy, that's the, they're calling it Beer Luffy or Cheers Luffy. Very strong card. They were not able to get to 7,000 power this turn because I only have 4 Dawn. So they could not get to 7,000 power with the effect, but they could still use the effect to get the Dawn back with the leader's effect. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys. Okay, they're going to swing for 5 here, and I'm actually fine with that. And very nice. We top deck a Divine Departure. That's another 6 Dawn play we have for the deck, right, guys? We're going to swing 5 into this card. See if he wants to save it. It's fine with me. Go ahead. Save it if you want to, right? Save it if you want to. Okay. So we're swinging it for 5. They let it go. Very wisely, they let that thing go immediately. That means either A, their hand is completely bricked, or B, they have something else in mind. Excuse me, guys. My throat today. The allergies are going crazy. So we're going to swing for 5 here. They 2K counter out. We're going to Divine Departure and just get rid of the Luffy. We're saying it's gone. It's out of here, bud. Get it out of here. Okay, and that's going to go right into our next curve. And remember, the nice thing about Yasop is he's still a 1K counter. So even though we went past... Okay, hang on. They're going to play out the 6 cost 7K Luffy, returning 2 Dawn and taking a life to swing 7 into 5. Okay. You know, honestly, I'm going to go -1,000 to his leader. I'm going to go -1,000 to his leader, and I'm going to let this Lucky Roo go. I'm just going to let it go. That's fine with me. He does get Dawn back with his leader's effect. Let's see what he wants to do. Does he want to attack into me? I'll go minus... Yeah, I'll take this hit here. Or I could counter out. Nope, we take it. We get a trigger. We fix our hand a little bit. They swing in for 4. I guess they didn't see that I did -1,000 to their leader. We're going to go 5 into 4 here. I don't even care if he saves it. I don't even care if he saves it because that's a 4,000 power character next turn. Right? That is a 4,000 power character next turn. Swing with it twice if you want to, right? That'd be my guest. First of all, we have 2 life, and second of all, our leader effect can drop him down to even lower to a 3,000 power character. Okay, they're going to play out the 9 cost Luffy here. They're going to, you know, Dawn -2 to get some Dawn back with their leader effect. Seems good. Look at this, guys. They're like, wait a minute. This is a 4K character? Yes, it is. So now you can only swing 5. Now you can only swing 5. Okay, let's see what they choose to do here. They're going to swing for 6 instead. Okay, I do have, I don't have any 2Ks in hand right now, which is unfortunate. I think we're running 10 or 12 2K counters in the deck. We're just not seeing them right now. I know I run the Sanjis, or the Tony Choppers. It looks like Sanji. And then the, okay, and then we 1K counter out of that. We're going to take the 10, obviously. And here we go. Now watch this. Pause. Guys, pause. We're going to talk about this play in just a second. And I'm running the Hongos, right? I'm running the Tony Chopper, the Hongos, and the Otama. So I am running 12 2K counters. We're just not getting lucky enough to see them right now. What do you got? What is y'all's play right here? Pop quiz. Pop quiz, guys. All right, take out a pen and paper. What's your play right here? What are you doing in this situation? We are not in a good spot. For those who are not aware, we are not in a good spot. And we see they counted out with an Usohachi. That means they definitely have another Usohachi in hand, right? They have to have at least another Usohachi in hand or something to rest down my blocker. Maybe like a 7 call Sanji or something like that. And I have a feeling they're going for lethal next turn. But let's observe the board state real quick. They don't have any Dawn. They don't have any Dawn active. So right here, watch what we do here. This is an interesting play, at least in my opinion. If I remember this correctly, all right, they got 2 2K counters in the trash there, 2 Usohachis. Let's poke for 5. The old 5K poke, and they take it, guys. Okay, swing for 9. You didn't want to get out of the 5. You want to get out of this 9K? Oh, yeah? Well, what about this 12K? Guys, rest in pepperonis, bro. Rest in peace. That's all she wrote. We caught them slipping there big time. Look at their hand. They were a little bit bricked, but look at this. Hang on. They at the very end there, I did show what was in his trash. Hang on, let me try to pause right when I click it. Okay. Guys, at the very end there, he had 2 1Ks, and so he had 3 1Ks in hand. He should have countered out of my leader attack. I would have changed my play accordingly, obviously. I would have probably played out the 9 cost Shanks. I would have gone for his board a little bit and things like that, right? We would have tried to play to win no matter what. That's obviously our game plan, is to try to win here. But hear me out. If he had just countered out of that single attack, that 5K attack, he could have you know, had a better chance of winning this game. But because I had Dragon in hand, we went with the 5, 9, 12K attack. Nice knowing you. GG to our opponent. That was a fun one there. Always try to see if you... how do I say this? Try to catch your opponent slipping, right? Let them make their own mistakes for you, right? So that way you can get games you maybe shouldn't have gotten. Because I don't know if we were going to win this game otherwise. But either way, good game to my opponent. Let's keep going. Okay, so that was against Purple-Black Luffy. Now we got a game versus Red-Black Koby. Okay, we got a game versus Red-Black Koby. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x. Here we go. Okay, that's not a great hand. We don't have a great hand, that's for sure. Let's see if we can draw into some better cards here. They start off with Peacock to fix their hand. They're going to swing for 6. We're going to take that, and they're going to play out a brand new. Okay, we're going to swing for 5. Now, we do have a 4-cost play here, easy, with the Lucky Roo. I'm going to play out Lucky Roo over the Tony Chopper here. And notice I consider it for a while. I'm like, maybe I should play out the Tony Chopper. But then I saw he only had 3 cards in his trash. So if I play out this Lucky Roo here and block with it at some point, I can actually make him use his leader effect if he chooses to try to save a character. And he'll lose cards for later to protect his board with. Okay. So right here, let's see what we do. We're going to swing for 6. And I think we're just going to swing for 6 again. We get a 2K counter from hand. He takes the next one. We're playing out Tony Chopper. Now we have a really strong blocker on the board here. But hang on, pause. Lots going on here. So they're going to use the effect. Notice I'm about to mouse over their trash. They decided to play out Helmeppo using the effect, to trash the Koby, bring the Koby into play, and then use Koby's effect to buff either the character or the leader for the turn. You know, it can buff a character or leader when it does the effect for the 8-cost Koby. But it has to return cards from his trash to do so. So watch this. Oh, you only have 2 cards left in your trash? Okay, well, I'm going to use my leader effect here to minus 1,000 to the Koby, and then I'm going to 0-cost 3K to get out of this. Now, he can't attack into active characters with any of these other characters on the board. Do you want to attack into my Lucky Roo? He says, yes, I do. Okay, well, KO your Virgo. And now they can't protect it because he doesn't have more than... he doesn't have 3 or more cards in his trash. You have to return 3 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck to protect your characters. So he swings in. We do take that one. Okay, swings in for 7. We do take that one. We could have... actually, we couldn't have used our leader effect because we already used it earlier in the turn to save our Chopper. Okay, well, now we're going 7 into 7 and 9 into 7. I'm saying, hey, you want to save that card or not? He does give me a 1K counter. He's going to let it go now, and now it's back to his turn. But he only has 5 cards left in his hand. And we just developed a very big body on the board. It is going to be pretty tough for him to deal with that unless he wants to use something like an Honesty Impact, right? Okay, well, here he goes. He's going to slam down the Koby here. Let's see if he actually wants to attack into my Chopper or my Dragon. He decides to attack into Chopper. Okay, you know, he only has 4 cards in trash, but I can't really do anything with that this time. We're just going to let the card go. That's fine. Our blocker did its job anyway, blocking out for a character. You know, potentially if he had decided to attack into my Dragon, we got our value from it either way. They're going to swing for 6 into 5 here. Okay, we're just going to 2K counter out of that. And now he can't really use Helmeppo here. You can't attack into leaders on the turn you play sword characters. You can only attack into other characters with the leader's effect. Only certain cards in the sword package can allow you to attack into active characters. Okay. I said that kind of randomly, right? Pause. What I was trying to say was, like, there is nothing in the sword package that can allow you to attack into leaders on the turn you play them, unless there's just some kind of card with rush. But the leader Koby allows you to attack into characters on the turn you play them. Well, here's the thing. you can't attack into active characters unless you have a certain effect that does that. That's what I was really trying to say. I kind of butchered that. But y'all, you know, a little bit clumsy, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. All right, so we're going to swing in for 9 here. I can't swing in with my leader because he's a 6,000 power leader. That's fine. We smash in here. He does get a some type of trigger search event. I think it's like Blackbeard's This Is My Era. But guys, our board's massive. We have 3 life. They have a 2K, he has a 0 power character on the board with that Ripper, a 2K power brand new, and then a 6K Helmeppo. So he is not in a good spot here. If he has an Honesty Impact, by the way, I'm going to spoil it a little bit. He does have an Honesty Impact, but I think he kind of misunderstands what the card does. Watch this, guys. They're about to use an Honesty Impact. And remember, we're in 2x speed. This guy is deep in the tank trying to figure out some cards. He might have been a newer player. Let's be nice. He might have been a newer player. But watch this. He's about to use an Honesty Impact, and he does it on my Shanks. Well, that's still an 8,000 power character, okay? Giving him minus 4,000. He should have used it on Dragon. He's going to instantly leave there, guys. As you guys saw, he instantly leaves as soon as I use my effect there. Let's see if I can even... Yeah, pause. Perfect timing. Mike Tyson quote, right? Boom. Perfect timing. But no, we got it. Perfect timing there. He was not going to be able to get rid of my Shanks. What he should have done is Honesty Impact can KO a 6,000 power character. So what he should have done this turn, technically, was just use it on Dragon. Just get rid of my Dragon, and then, you know, hopefully I don't have anything to stop, you know, how do I say this? I'm going to go for lethal next turn. That is probably what we're going to be doing next turn. But hope that I don't have any way to get through your blocker and just play for next turn. Because then you could just swing everything at my leader and go from there. But they could have got rid of the Dragon and done things from there. Either way, good game to my opponent. They were trying to figure things out there. Koby can be very... It's kind of hard to run Koby, especially if you're learning the game. There's a lot of, like, power manipulation going on, and power deductions, and KO based off power, and attacking into active versus attacking into rested. It can get very confusing very quickly. Okay, next up we got a game versus Purple Katakuri. Guys, this game... We got an 18-minute game here. Let's just actually, it's more like a 17-minute game, but still. Don't worry. Volume's off. Speed's on 2x. We're going to get through this. This was a banger. Guys, Purple Katakuri is no joke. The deck is no joke. We're just waiting for him to decide if he wants to keep his hand. Okay, he keeps it. He's going to go turn 1 Searcher. And he's going to fix his hand a little bit, and then it's going to be our turn 1. We have no turn 1 play. We're going to pass it back immediately. They get turn 2 Pudding. That is the perfect start for Purple Katakuri. Getting down that Pudding means he's going to get to use his leader effect every single turn to get information from my deck and to do other effects and get plus 1,000 to his leader. Okay, and then he gets the next part of the curve there. So this is the actual perfect curve for Purple Katakuri, going turn 1 Event into turn 2 Pudding into turn 3 Parasparrow. It does not get any better than that for Purple Katakuri, at least currently. We'll see what comes out in the future. They're going to play out a Charlotte Pudding. They trashed a 10-cost Linlin. They decided they don't want that card, I guess, for this matchup. I think they're going to want that card for this matchup, though, guys. We're going to swing for 7 into 5. We develop a Yasop. We have Chopper on the board. We're a 6,000 power leader. We're in a pretty good spot right now. Okay, they're going to play out an 8-cost Katakuri. Seems good. They're going to swing for 5, use leader effect, look up the top card of my deck. I am going to minus 1,000, I think, right here. Yep, just going to drop him back down to 5,000. They get the Dawn back with the Charlotte Pudding. Now they can use their Charlotte Parasparrow to ramp a Dawn, fixing their hand, cycling out a card from their hand, and getting a Dawn as active. And that's still a 7,000 power attack, but we do have some 2Ks to get out of this. Okay, they're going to play out another Charlotte Pudding. They're fixing their hand up. They're searching, and that board is getting scary quick, right? That's a scary board, guys. They're going to swing for 7 into 6. I think we should probably 2K counter out of this. Why was I not greedy this time as opposed to other times? I think this game is going to go the distance. I think this is going to go very long, right? So right here, we're going to play out the Rayleigh. We're going to swing for 5 into 5 here. We did a minus 3,000 to the Katakuri, minus 2,000 to the Parasparrow. Those are now 5,000 power characters. Okay, so we're going to swing for 5, swing for 6. They get out of one, they 2K counter the other. They leader effect to get out of the first one, and then they 2K counter out of the Yasop. And guys, I'm mousing over the card right now of what I want to play next turn. I'm pretty sure I want to drop that. They're going to go 5 into 5 here. I think I should probably just use my leader effect here, but we end up giving him a 2K. I wasn't sure what he was going to do, and I think I should have just used it, though. So right here, he's going to probably push my Yasop into life. I think Yasop's actually the better target here to push into life because it has power reduction. I can just attach one Dawn, swing for 7, and then minus 1,000 power to the Katakuri, and he can't really block effectively with that anymore. So he's going to swing for 6 here. Now I can leader effect, and actually I think I can just take this one because I just gained a life anyway, and now when he goes to swing for 5 with the Sparrow, I can actually just block this. So I should have... Actually, no, so I did need to use the leader effect and block, so we got full value for the turn. I was going to say I should have used my leader effect earlier, but we still got full value at the end there. Okay, we're going to play out the Rayleigh now, or excuse me, the Rayleigh. We're going to play out the Shanks. We're a 7,000 power leader now. We're swinging for 7. He can just block this for free with his Katakuri. That card's real good, guys. We're going to swing 8 into 5. We're not swinging into that 8,000 power body, guys. It's not happening. He's probably going to take this or give me 2 cards from hand. That'd be crazy. Yep, he takes it, and now he's down to 3, but I'm at 4. I have a blocker. My board's getting bigger. My board's getting a lot stronger here, guys. My board's getting a lot stronger. Okay, so right here, if I remember correctly, they're going to replace that pudding, the 1-cost pudding, with the 3-cost Uso Hachi. Resting down my Lucky Roo. That is really frustrating. That's actually super annoying, right? Because I wanted to be able to block with that just to get rid of that pudding, just to clear up some space on the board. Okay, they're going to go 12 and 8, and they have 3 Dawn left. They can go 12 and 8 one more time with the Charlotte Linlin, and I am going to bait them into doing that. I'm going to go, okay, you know what? Go ahead and swing 12 more because I can leader effect 2K to get out of this, and that's going to be your entire turn. That's going to be their whole turn. Now, they can still swing with their Sparrow. Okay, 5 and a 7, sure. They're going to Dawn -1 to at least be able to use their Sparrow's effect here, and let's see what they do. We're just going to let this go because we're 7,000 power. They're 6,000. It just bounces. Doesn't do anything. They're going to use Sparrow's effect, trashing a Sparrow to fix their hand, revealing my top card. I bet they didn't want to see that card. Guys, I bet they didn't want to see that card on top of my deck. They're going to swing in for 7 here. We are probably just going to take the... Actually, we're going to play out Shanks next turn. Oh, and then we get that Divine Departure. That's interesting. So that might change things, guys. That Divine Departure is massive. We're going to go in for 5 here. I dare him to block. I dare him to block with that 8-cost Katakuri. So now we have a Divine Departure, guys. Okay, here we go. I'm going to swing for 8. I'm going to swing for 10. And then we're going to swing for 12. Seems good. Now, we are leaving our blocker active this time. First of all, he still had his blocker up, so we're not going to use that anyway. So we're going to leave our blocker up here so we can get out of 1 attack for free and maybe get rid of that pudding finally. But we got down the 10-cost 12K Shanks. Once you have the 10-cost 12K Shanks in play, big trouble for your opponent. Very big trouble. They're going to go 10, it looks like. Where are they going? 5 into that. Okay, I don't want to use my Lucky Roo yet. We're just going to, okay, we cancel on the leader effect. We're going to take that hit. That was a little bit greedy, but we do take that hit because I can't have him getting my board. I can't let him have my board here. It's too dangerous. Okay, well, now he's going to swing for 9s at face. I'm going to go ahead and cash in on that pudding there, or excuse me, that Lucky Roo to get rid of the pudding and block out of that. He swings for 7. He did reveal that Katakuri earlier, so I did know that was coming. That's why I blocked in the way that I did. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What are we going to do here? We're going to swing for 6. Let's see what he chooses to do. And I think I have like a little bit of a blunder here. If this is the turn I'm thinking of, I think we have a little bit of a blunder. Okay. We're going to swing for 8 here. Now watch this. So we swing for 8. I think he gives me a blocker and a 2K counter here. I think he gives me a blocker and a 2K counter like that. And now watch this. What I should have done here. Okay, pause. Who would you choose for your targets here? Who would you choose for your targets for Silver's Rayleigh? Remember, that's a 7,000 power character. I have a 10K and a 12K that still gets to attack this turn. So I guess what I'm trying to say is this. I think I should have actually just swung 10 into the Katakuri. He's not saving that Katakuri. It's going to be 10, and that would take 2 cards out of hand, and then 12. He literally can't save it, right? So what I end up doing is giving minus 3,000 to the standing Katakuri and minus 2,000 to the one that's rested. What I should have done, I think in my opinion, was minus 3,000 to Linlin and minus 2,000 to this Katakuri and drop them both down to 5,000 on my next turn and then go from there. I have 1 Dawn active. I have my 1-cost event. It was a slightly more optimal play, but I do choose the safest route here to go minus 4,000 to the standing Katakuri and then minus 2,000 to the rested Katakuri so I can just attack him for 10. He's not going to save that now. There's no way. And then we go 10 and 12 in the face here. So again, I do wish I had done that a little bit differently, but that's okay. It wasn't the worst problem in the world, because now he does have a 4,000 power Katakuri that can't do anything this turn unless he wants to invest Dawn into it, and we did knock him down to 1 life. Excuse me. Okay, so they can't play out the 10 cost 12k rush Lin now, can they? We saw them put one in the trash earlier. They can't play that now. So they're going to 5 cost Ragnarok here and Dawn -1 to KO my Rayleigh. That was unfortunate. That was very unfortunate, but they do have to start going for this board. Okay, they're going to go for life. I think we're going to go for lethal this turn, so we might take everything. We might take literally every single thing here. I'm doing a little bit of math in my head at this point of the game. Nice, we get a searcher there, and we do get a 2k counter we can search up. We'll take that every time. And here we go. They have 4 Dawn left to work with for the turn. And guys, remember, our board is massive. That's an 8k, a 10k, and a 12k on the board. And then I have my leader attack with 10 Dawn. You know, it's like they're in desperation mode, that's for sure. So I'm gonna kind of push them into it, right? Like, yeah, swing all out. It's your only chance. Meanwhile, I have a Divine Departure in hand. I'm just gonna get rid of his blocker next turn. We're going through with everything, right? It's gonna be swing 8, 9, 10, 12, and he's not gonna have a blocker. Okay, so again, we're just waiting for our opponent. They are deep in the tank here. We're just waiting for them to do something here. What are they going to do? They're going to attach 1 Dawn to the Katakuri and swing for 5. I am going to probably just leader effect to knock that down, and then I can get out of whatever he does here. Yeah, whatever he swings in with that Lin, I'm just going to get out of. Okay, he's going to go 8 into 8 here. So he has 3 Dawn left. So it's like, wait a minute, what is he going to do here? Let's see what he chooses. Plays out a Sanji. Very nice. Standing up to Katakuri in a turn. We 0 cost 3k to get out of that, by the way, just out of a 1k attack, but that's okay. Now, here we go. I'm going to swing for 8 first here. Let's see what he does. I really want him to give me the blocker. Give me your blocker early. He should take this hit, by the way. For those who are wondering, he should absolutely take this hit, okay? But I think he gives me the Sanji, and that's going to change everything. Okay, he does end up taking the hit. That was the correct play. Now, what are we going to do here? We're going to swing for 9, 10, 12, and as soon as he gives me 1 blocker, we're popping the other one with the Divine Departure. Okay, well, that's game. Get rid of the other blocker. We're swinging for 10. We're swinging for 12. Good game to my opponent. That was a really fun game there. Really good game. Guys, Purple Katakuri is no joke, man. That deck was hanging in there. All right, we got one more game to go over. We got a game versus Green Purple Luffy. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Okay, we got both Divine Departures in our mulligan hand, which is really nice. I think we mulligan that game, or this game. So they're going to swing for 5. We are going second. They're going to play out Frankie, and we're going to swing for 5 back. We just use our leader effect to get out their attack. We develop the Tony Chopper, and that card is massive. They're going to develop a Sanji. Okay? Excuse me. I think this next turn we should just get rid of that Sanji. I think we should just get rid of it. So we're going to use leader effects to drop them down to 1k and block out for free with Chopper. We're going to take the next hit, and here we go. So right here, I think I should just play out the... I think I should just Divine Departure here, guys, but I have something else in mind, clearly. We're going to go 7 into 4. We're going to play out the Hongo and pass the turn. So we're developing for next turn, right? We're building for future turns here. But because I did that in that way, he is going to be able to play out another Sanji and get tons and tons of value from those effects there with the leader. And, yeah, we probably should have got rid of that Sanji. Excuse me, guys. Okay, we're going to minus 1,000 and hit him and give him a 2k here to get out of that, and then it's going to be our turn. So now we do get to go into the board, though. Now we do get to go into the board. Now, right here, what we're going to choose to do, I think we do another mess up here, guys. Bear with me. This is one of those weird turns here where it's like I had a few options, and I chose a weird option here. I attach a Dawn, I swing for 6 into 5 to see if he wants to try to save that or something else on the board, because I am threatening, like, maybe I have an Otama to get rid of the other pudding, you know what I mean? But he doesn't fall for it. If I had Otama, I'd have gotten rid of both puddings right there, you know what I mean? So that's why I did it in that order, but we could have also just been Beckman to get rid of one of the Zoros. It's fine. We cleared up the space for him, I guess, for him to play out another Nami, and then he filled out the board completely with a Luffy Taro and a Zoro Jiro. We're in a tough spot, guys. And we are on 2x speed, right? We are on 2x speed, so just, you know, this is one of those games. It seems like a lot of thoughts going into these, and those are the games you want, right? You want your opponent to not just rush their turns or anything like that. You want to make sure they're choosing the most optimal plays here. Okay, so they get rid of Hongo. Or no, excuse me, they attacked and I let Hongo go. They're going to swing 8 into 5 here. We're going to take that. We're down to 2 life, and here we go. Whew, that was a nice card to get from the top there. That was a very nice card to get from the top, but I don't know if we can play it out this turn. I think we might have to develop a Rayleigh. Guys, I think we might have to develop a Rayleigh, but I also don't hate developing Shanks here. Okay, let's see what happens. We're going to go -3 to the Pudding, -2 to the Zoro, and we're going to KO the Nico Robin. He can just Dawn -1 and draw if he wants to. I don't really care. He's not keeping that. He is not keeping that card on the board. Okay, so we're going to go 6 into 4. Let's see if he saves this. It's probably not the worst idea to save that because he knows he's not keeping that Sanjian Pudding, right? He knows he's not keeping Sanjian Pudding. Okay, so he's going to 2K to save it. We're going to rest this just to KO the Sanjian Pudding. We have a blocker. We've cleared up his board a little bit. He has a third Sanjian Pudding, guys. A third Sanjian Pudding. Come on now. Help me out here. And a third Nami as well. He's just searching like crazy. And a third Zoro. I mean, guys, he's seeing it all. He's seeing everything right now, guys. He is seeing it all. He's going to go 6 into 5. I'm going to -1 and block out for free there with the chopper. I'm kind of inviting him to attack into the chopper, and he's not falling for it, which is smart. He's going to swing in for 8. We're going to take that. He's going to buff the cost of his Sanjian Pudding. Sure, why not? We don't have any cost stuff in here. Red doesn't really deal with cost, right? That's something that the other colors deal with. Okay, yeah, what do we do now? Hey, guys, what do we do now? We're going to go 8 into 6. Let's see if he wants to try to save this card. We have a Rayleigh as well if he wants to save. He does. Okay, 8 more into 6. Lets it go. That's fine with me. We're going to play out this Shanks here. We're going to go 7 into face, and we're going to play out a Lucky Roo. Okay, we have 2 blockers. I feel very safe about that, even if he has, even if he does have Usohachi. There it is. We're actually fine. We're actually fine with that because we're a 7,000 power leader. Okay, we're going to 1K, we're just going to 1K counter out of that because he still has 6 Dawn active. I'm concerned about him playing the 6 cost Rush Luffy. Excuse me. He's going to swing for 9. I'm going to take this. We're going to take this one. Let's see what he does here. He does Dawn -2, stands up a bunch of Dawn or whatever, does the leader effect with the Sanjis there, and now he has 8 Dawn to work with. Okay, he's going to go 9 into 7. Okay. I was going to say, we're just going to take this. No, I'm just kidding. We have no life left here, so we do have to get out of this in a certain way. I'm counting up everything. So now he only has 5 Dawn. Okay, only has 5 Dawn. He can no longer do the 6 cost Secret Luffy for shenanigans there. I have to do the math to make sure I can get out of this, but I've pretty much secured lethal here. So he's going to swing for 7, then he has 4 Dawn left. Let's see what he chooses to do. I think I'm just going to, I have to block this one, I think. I think I have to block this one, or excuse me, I have to use leader effect on this one, and then I can get out of this with my Tony Chopper. Yeah, we're going to block out with Chopper. He's going to pass with 1 Dawn active, but is that going to be enough, guys? My board is huge. Again, guys, my board is huge, and we're going all in here, guys. So, pause. Okay. We could have tried to extend the game out one more turn. We have a Silver's Rayleigh. We could demolish this board, sit on a blocker, sit on a Divine Departure, and go from there. And we have a decent amount of counter. Actually, we really don't have that much counter power in hand. So, like, one more Usohachi, and I probably just lose, right? What would you do here, guys? What's your plan here? If you weren't trying to extend the game out, how would you go for lethal? What is the order in which you would go for lethal here? What is the order in which you go for lethal? Okay, here's what I choose to do. Pause and try and figure it out if you're trying to do it, but I'm going for lethal this turn. Watch this. 1 Dawn on Lucky Roo, swing 6. That will cost him 1 card from hand. It was a 2K counter, okay? 6K from Shanks. He takes it, okay? Well, I've got terrible news for him, right? We've got terrible news for him. So he does get out of that one with a Gum Giant. We're going to go swing 9, and he just concedes there. He was waiting for his opportunity to use that Secret Luffy. He was waiting for his opportunity, but he couldn't play it out when I was a 7K leader because if he attacks in with it for 7, I Dawn -1. He can't attack with it for the rest of the turn unless he wants to allocate more Dawn to it, and then he doesn't get attacks elsewhere. So here's the thing. We could have tried to, like, stabilize, right? We could have tried to stabilize there and go for 1 more turn, but look at that hand. There's no way, right? There's no way we're making it 1 more turn. It's not happening, right? So here's the thing. We're going to have to just go for lethal here. I mean, I'm trying to think. Was there a way? Because they only have 5 Dawn available after Gum Giant to try to survive this turn. They go to 7 Dawn. They have the Sanjian Pudding. I don't know. I don't think it's worth risking, right? It's probably not worth risking. So going for lethal here, like, you know, I kind of lost my train of thought. That's what I was going to say. I think it's just better to go for lethal in this situation because of how big our board is. Remember, they only had 5 cards in hand at the beginning of this turn, right? So we attacking for 6, that's 1 card gone from their hand. We attacking for 6 more, that's another card gone from their hand. Then we still have the Dragon plus Newgate plus Rayleigh plus Shanks coming in. Each one's going to be at least 9,000, 8,000 and higher. So really good stuff there. Good game to my opponent. That was a tough one, though. Green-purple Luffy is no joke. All right, let's go ahead and finish off here by recapping, checking out the deck list one more time. Some things that I would like to consider in for the future for this deck is probably, let me bring up all the red cards. I would like to have a little bit more cycle, so I'm actually really considering running the Silver's Rayleigh for now. Let me see, where is that card? This card? I think there is some logic to run this card in the current format. In the current meta, I don't think this card's really that bad. It gives us another like 5 and 6, 5 Dawn, 6 Dawn turn options. And it can, it's a blocker, it's a 1k counter, and it is cycle later in the game. Now, with it being a 5 Dawn character, that's not as good for what we're trying to do, because we can't combo it with the Shanks. Now, there is a new Lucky Roo coming out. I think it's a 4 Dawn Lucky Roo. It costs 4. It's a 2,000 power, 1k counter blocker that has trash a 6,000 power card or higher from your hand to draw to. That thing will be perfect in here. Okay, but that's not out yet. That's coming out in PRB02. But for the time being, I do like the idea of Rayleigh in here. And another card, or more cards I'd like to see in the deck, considering how this Shanks works, is more of the 1 cost and 2 cost events, like Radical Beam, maybe even more. Guys, Divine Departure is actually very good right now. Popping an 8,000 power character for 6, we can get rid of Sanji's, excuse me, we can get rid of Sanji's, Luffy Taro's, 8 cost Eustace Kid, the green one, of course, not the yellow one's 9k, but even cards like the Katakuri, 8 cost purple Katakuri. So this Divine Departure is actually in a very good spot right now, and it goes beautifully with what we're trying to do with the list. So really good stuff there. I probably don't need the Edward Newgate. This didn't really come up much in testing. This could probably be something else. Maybe this is something I would take out, like maybe -2 of these for +2 of the 5 cost Rayleighs we were talking about, and then that will slowly transition over time into the new Lucky Roo. What else? I think that's about it, though, guys. I mean, the deck was running pretty well for what it's worth. I would like to fit in maybe, a few Red Hawks or maybe a few Rad Beams, like I was saying. And tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. The deck was running pretty well. It was a lot of fun. I really like this new card. Going to 7,000 power on a leader like Shanks with that leader effect, disgusting, right? It's absolutely brutal for your opponent. And then again, if you start dropping down these 10-cost Shanks, that's a wrap, right? That's all she wrote. So yeah, all right, that's it. I'm done yapping. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Let's get the outro on here. Guys, I appreciate y'all for stopping by, especially for the people who make it this long into my videos. Thank you so much. Guys, if you're supporting me in any way, shape, or form, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, a Discord community, whatever you're doing to help out me and the community, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Again, please tell me what y'all thought down in the comment section below. What do you think about Shanks right now? I know it's kind of struggling in OP11 and OP12 maybe, but maybe we just haven't figured out the right list yet. We'll have to see. All right, I'm done. Till next time, guys. Peace.